Tied up 1-1 on 2,000 atmospheres. Bottom left is ZEST. Top right is BYUN. Again, both players attending Katowice should be in person as well, from my understanding. So that's pretty cool. ZEST even one of the favorites to win, is the argument. If there's a Protoss who's going to win right now, it does seem like it would be ZEST. In general, do we think that ZEST is the most likely to win? Probably not. But if you said I think ZEST is going to win, no one would fault you for it. He's like the least favorite of the favorites, I guess, in my opinion. Which is, again, yeah, you could say he's going to win and people are like, okay, I see your point. But most people are still going to give us the older names, such as Maru, which is, he's also my bet to win Katowice. Or Cyril, who's not been untouchable this past year, but is still pretty damn good. Unfortunately for all the Trap fans, he ascended at kind of the wrong time to really make his mark on history. Potentially. It's possible he comes into Katowice and he's totally fine. But Trap kind of ascended, you know, about last year, right? So didn't really have a good 2021 Katowice, but really did well in the tournaments aside from that in 2021. Then starts to falter with the TSL 8s. There's actually you can look at his timeline, Trap's page, and see him start to fall after his TSL 8 loss. So 3 or 4 months ago, if you said Trap was one of the favorites to win IEM, people would be like, oh yeah, okay, sure. Not anymore. What's happening in this game, though? We do have 2 gases. ZEST is able to scout that, so of course you would know even without the second supply depot. It's factory expand, legitimate factory expand. If his probe had been stuck outside and the second supply depot was what blocked him, it's a question mark. A lot of Terran players are faking the factory expand, but this was scouted as legitimate. ZEST was really not all that punished for his lack of scouting last game. It was a lot of other things that happened in the game that gave ZEST the L. But yeah, it was a bit weird to see him not scout last game, because it just is so... It's not even that it's safe. It's so beneficial in general for a probe to do when he's scouting. Since it doesn't have to sacrifice itself or its time mining to build stuff, it's just less expensive for a Protoss to scout. You know, Zergs have to sacrifice their drone. Terrans have to wait for the SCV to build the thing. Probes, not so much. And it also is really good at harassing because it has shields. So you can be a real pain in the butt. Plus the scouting. You know, it's just, there's a lot of things. So it's really weird that ZEST didn't do it last game. But don't want to hyper-focus on it too much. Next game, he does probe scout. He does realize he has to defend something. Not sure what, but something. And he's decided that a Stargate is the best course of action. As far as macro goes, Stargate is one of those fantastic structures. Gives you detection, harassment, and a little bit of defense as well. So the Oracle, a little bit of defense. A little bit of defense. Yeah, may have wanted to actually just straight up be used for that defense. I think what happened there was that ZEST was thinking about it. It's possible he misrallied. It's possible he thought the Oracle was on its way, but he rallied over here. Regardless, probably would have been better just to show the Oracle and clear up the units, have the Adepts live, so on and so forth. The Oracle is at least going to get the scouting done, but this is actually a fake medevac. Fake/scouting medevac? It may have wanted to check for Adepts if ZEST had built more and they were coming across the map. Maybe. The medevac is in a bit of a tough spot. You know, clearly it wants to go into a Woodamine drop, but now that it knows it's a Stargate opener, there's a potential that it's a Phoenix follow-up, like it was in the first game. So it doesn't really want to potentially sacrifice itself. Most likely sacrifice itself in a Woodamine drop. It's not Phoenix, though. Zest is changing it up from that first game. So he adds that pretty quick Twilight Council after the second Oracle this time. Could be after the first. And, okay, he's going to go to Blink. So the other option would be going into Charge and just being basically a greedy little boy. Getting no anti-air, no Phoenix, no Blink. But you're going to have a pretty powerful army, but that is a greedy thing to do. Oh, Oracle does go down to the Cyclone Viking combination, but Oracle's still alive. Should be good enough. And now with Zest having a bunch of gas taken, I would expect a Robo to be slapped down. Or is he again going to go Mass Gateway? I'm going to wait on that for a while. He is spending most of his money right now chronoing out probes. And Blink. Starts up his +1 upgrade. BYUN has been doing, I guess, the normal Terran things. Being a dutiful Terran. Getting the anti-air to support. Especially because he didn't know if it was going to be Phoenix. And then trying to get up a good bio army with stim and combat shields. His stim and combat shields, though, really not quick at all. He's going to be pinned back for a little while. Oh, no, you don't blink into that. No. Zest has not added on a Robo or Chart. Well, I mean, Blink just finished, so that was unfair. But he had not added on a Robo. Still hasn't added on a Robo. So he is going to go into Mass. He has so much gas, though. And now he adds 2 extra gases, too. So well, he's got to go into Storm. He's got to go into Archons at this point. I feel validated that he has so much extra gas. I think if he was going to push the issue with his Stalkers, 3 gateways consistently pumping out Stalkers. I mean, it does require a fair bit of gas, but I don't think it requires 4 gases. Now up to 6. So it's gotta be intent to go into Storm or something. Oh, he's gonna get DT Blink. He's been experimenting with this. Okay. So, okay, further harassment. So Stalkers have been poking and prodding. Oracle tries to get a good stasis trap, doesn't though. That's all right. Robo does finally come down alongside the Dark Shrine. And a proxy gateway, by the way. But yeah, Zest has been really experimenting with an attempt to almost make like a third composition. If, one composition is Mass Gateway, second composition is Colossus, the third composition could be straight to Disruptors, could be, whatever, but still. Like, he's trying to play around with something like Gateway, Dark, Templar, Blink, which is still technically Gateway units, so overall, he'd still call it a Gateway build. But with DT Blink coming in from behind, or literally blinking behind the Terran army to act as force fields, he's really been trying to make this a thing, not just a cheese. But he doesn't even have Blink. He doesn't even have the Dark Shrine, so I don't know about that one. Robo on the front line seems like a poor place to be. Charge lots of... Oh, my God. Running into the Water Mines, an even poorer place to be for them, but that's a lot of Stalkers still left over as they backed away. BYUN starting to run out of that stim. Has to stim again, injuring his units furthermore, and knowing that there is just going to be an endless stream of Zealots, appropriately backs away. Still really sucks for Zest to have lost that Robo, which obviously is a reset if he did plan on going into the Robotics Bay, and has also stopped him from getting Observers and Immortals. Specifically, the Observer right now is a bummer, because what a mines. Armory's not here, though, so I guess it's not the worst thing. A little bit of a run-by being set up. DTs are alongside it. He is not getting DT Blink, but he has 1,000 gas. There it is. It's like something had to be with that gas, right? And while a lot of things have gone not necessarily the best for Zest, I still feel like... Well, right now he's just not macroing in general. It's okay. We'll look away for now. Avert your eyes. Trying to go for some DT harassment more so. Set up his aggression. Then I guess getting back to building units and whatnot. To be clear, for those who are also kind of with me, like, okay, it's kind of a comical amount of gas for a pro gamer. DTs do take up a lot of gas. They take less than a High Templar, but they still take a lot. It's 150 versus 125, right? Or 100, something along those lines. So, if he wants to warp in 8 DTs, that'll deplete pretty quickly, but it's still things have gone a little bit awry here. So that ZEST has not had probably the build order turning out exactly like he wanted, and he hasn't had his power spikes like he wanted. But it doesn't end the game at all. Big ol' run by this time around is, yeah, pretty much worth just giving up. There's not much you can do about that. The SCVs are dead. Might as well just try and focus on what is important, which is probably more so the front lines, getting those Liberators siege up. Widowmine's burrow. Those zealots are going to get destroyed. And they do, absolutely. Well, most of them do. One more Widowmine would have done the trick, but there wasn't, so the Zealot's still able to come in to help support those Stalkers, which actually blinked aggressively forward. A bit bold for them to do. A lot of bio left over, but more Zealots warped in. DT's coming from behind. The chase is on, and BYUN is forced to retreat with a Medivacs, of which only a few might survive. ZEST is not giving up anytime soon. The transition is already underway as well. BYUN is forced to tap out. GG. Still are gonna argue that ZEST didn't play a pristine game. I feel like the gas amount that he took was intended for something that we just never truly saw happen or happen fast enough. But that is kind of a thing with ZEST, isn't it? I think you can say that there are mistakes he is making, but he still has so many other things that he's doing really well. That doesn't seem to matter. So he takes the lead, 2-1.